Smash Factor.
Ripping driver, going for it. Oh my goodness. How about that tee shot?
That is crazy how far that is.
Wow. John Daly, take a back seat, big fella. How about that drive?
That's an aggressive line. Man, that is beyond long.
Look at this, he's just driven the green. He has just driven the green.
I guess. Hello world, huh?
Welcome everybody to week 14 of the 2021-2022 PGA season, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. This is the Smash Factor. Gup here on a very nice Tuesday morning that won't last long. We once again, we had 70-degree weather yesterday. We will be up low 60s today, and then snow, sleet, and ice heading our way overnight all day Wednesday into Thursday. The low Thursday looking like it's going to be about minus 10 with the wind chill. So quite the week of up and down weather-wise. Get to enjoy one more nice warm day, and then off to the cold we go. Last week was, good tournament. Community had a great week. DFS for me, I went the bullet route. I had one lineup, and then I did the kind of like the three in our listener league and stuff like that. And Finau and Burns just +9 on Thursday to miss the cut between the two of them. That lineup was really, really good if those two could have made the cut, but that's, that's part of how this thing goes. I had Cam Young and Willie Z in that lineup, along with a couple. I can't remember who the other two were. As of 4 of 6, it was still cashing with about 9 to 10 holes left Saturday in the final round, which kind of surprised me because the 6 of 6 wasn't real low. I think it was around 10% or so. But that's how good the lineup was for a while. But when you play bullet and stuff like that, it's hard to sometimes get all of them through. Betting wise, we did 7-5-1 in matchups. A little sweat on the first round leader on the North Course, I believe. Willie Z, obviously, we had a big ticket on him. He couldn't close a deal. I did post the Luke List hedge as we saw the playoff coming. We got him at +115 to kind of, make us a little money, but we'd rather Willie Z get it done. Oh well, I mean he's playing well. I look for him to get a win soon. I think because of how quick he got up in the ranking stuff, some people think, I've even heard some compare the Finau and he can't win, he this and that. I'm like, he's barely a year and a half ago, he didn't even have status anywhere 2 years ago. He's older, but not that old, 25. I mean, I think he's going to have a good career, and I look forward to continuing to watch him. Congrats on the Luke List tickets. Had Luke List third in my final rankings. Liked him a lot. I just didn't get there in the lineup build. Obviously, wish I would have, but if I was doing big MME type stuff, I definitely would have got there with some. But List was up there in the rankings. Willie Z, Cam Young was my doc of the week call. So I know, overall the community had a tremendous week, which was awesome. Chris Roberts takes down the $33 single entry for $10K. That was his only play of the week. So 33 into $10K. A lot of Gups Corner guys were in that same contest. I saw it Friday night. They were talking about it. ITZ Bum took fourth place in that tournament as well. I think it was 2,000 or 3,000 he won. Gas Boat won, was all over a bunch of leaderboards, turned in about 400 into 3,000. The Dirty Chic hits for over 3K. Plus he took down the Woods Carbon Contest. And then Fantasy MD hits for another 3K. Tons of winners. I posted a lot of stuff out on the Gups Corner handle. Great week for the community. Let's keep it rolling. Been a pretty good start. Betting why I hadn't got the outright yet on this. The early season, obviously was my hottest start ever. DFS wise, we've done well. We've had the right pools. We've been on the right guys. It's just a matter of putting it all together. Looking forward to a good week. If you want to join us, use the code SMASH. Get 20% off, includes a 7-day free trial off any package. Don't like anything in the 7 days, you can cancel and never get charged. Rate and review us on iTunes. I'll be doing the Super Bowl giveaway to get you to get one sub, or not so one person that is rate and review on iTunes, subscribe to YouTube, in the comments. That gets you all in these drawings. You can get them multiple times. I'll give that diamond level DK away Super Bowl weekend. So go ahead and get that done. We are getting closer to that with 2 weeks now from, about 12 days now. It'll be Super Bowl weekend. I'll be giving that away. So like I said, subscribe and like us on YouTube. Like this video in the comment section. Tell me who you want to play in the 10K range this week. There's not many there. There's 4. Who's your favorite play of the week? That'll get you into that drawing as well. Listener League will be in the description of the pod. Same 300 this week. Last week's winner, Peck 1022, 583. Very tight leaderboard up there. It was flipping and flopping there on Saturday. His lineup was Rom, Willie Z, Palmer, List, Rogers, and Cam Young. Very solid lineup. Hopefully he had that in some other things this week. Would have made some pretty good money with that lineup. This week, as I mentioned, we're at AT&T Pebble Beach. We are back to 3 courses. If you're doing your course history research, remember last year they only played 2 of the courses. Monterey Peninsula was not played last week, which is actually the easiest. So we get Pebble, Spyglass, Monterey. So this is the last, for a little while, the multi-course rotational stuff. 3rd straight week in a row we've had some form of it. Definitely makes things a little more difficult to break down, and especially having 2 with no stats data at all except for strokes gained total. You get the full breakdown on the website. Kenny Kim's article was posted last night, or check out his podcast with Tambo as well. Pebble Beach, par 72, 6,900, 4 par 3s, 4 par 5s. If the weather conditions are great, it plays fairly easy. The only thing that can make this a hard, quote unquote, course is some strong, wind. The wind's off there, and it really does. It can flip it, from being one of the easier to one of the hardest in any given year. Right now, it looks like it's going to be very perfect weather once again. Not much wind at all. Very sunshiny, low 60s, sunny. So I think overall the scoring is going to be pretty well this week. Spyglass, which I think it's the hardest of the 3 when all the conditions are normal. 4 par 3s and par 5s. Main focus there would just be, obviously, normally if we had a tough week, we may look at playing it on when it would be the easiest day, but really all 3 days that we're going to be playing these look about identical. So there's not going to be any wave draw or advantage or who gets the rotation or anything like that. Naturally, just like the Amex, the quote unquote better golfers, ranked higher, but whatever you want to say, OWGR, whatever, will finish on Pebble Saturday. I know we had a big deal, not a big deal, but people on the Amex was making a thing about, 4 or 5 strokes different from this group to this draw. It was not that at all. It's the way that the pools are set up field, and especially that it was such a tough. I mean, you had a lot of studs there. Rom and those guys, they want those big name guys, which more times than not are the better golfers, finishing on that premier course on Saturday on the TV day. So I don't see any wave advantage, draw advantage, anything like that. Monterey will play the easiest. Will probably be the main target for Showdown. It's a par 71, 5 par 3s, 4 par 5s. We'll see what our boy Sampson has to say about Showdown this week. I do think you could play some Pebble. All of them have 4 par 5s. Obviously, Monterey 5 par 3s. You can mix it up a little bit different than I think we've seen. Like last week, North Course for Showdown was clear. This is a little tighter, but I still lean Monterey for Showdown. But we'll get to that. We'll see what Sampson has to say as well. Mentioned weather looks great, no concerns. Cut, I got it around. I think it's gonna be around -3, -4. Top 60 in ties make it to Sunday. They make the cut after 54 holes. Winner, I see -19, -20, something like that. I think it's going to be one of the lower scorer that we've seen here. We've only seen again the 20s once since 2009. That was Snedeker, won by 3 over Watney, shooting 22 under. Some previous winners: Berger, Nick Taylor, Mickelson 5 times, TPJ, Spieth, Von Taylor, Jimmy Walker. DJ's won it a couple times. He's over in Saudi with a lot of guys. That field's pretty loaded as well. Runner-ups: Mav last year, Strillman, Casey, Day, DJ, Phil, DJ, Watney. So you can see playing here a lot matters to an extent. Just knowing how it's good. This isn't your Pro-Am from a few weeks ago where you have like executives and stuff that you really don't see. This is the Carlton and people like that that will be on the TV, a lot more. And Fitzgerald's always with Stroman type deal. So I do think a history and how you played here matters to some extent, especially when you're looking at winners. I think guys can play well here, lower price type guys when we're talking about DraftKings. But to win here, it seems like, you had to have pretty good history here. You see all the stats out there on Twitter, in the last X amount of years, they had to have a top 10, top 15, and playing well coming into it, I think is a good signal as well. Stats I'm looking at this week: stroke gain irons, par 5 DK, opportunities inside 18 feet, good drives, great approach, and then overall tee to green. Definitely bringing in some POA putting stats, and then course fit. I'll look at overall, looking at that strokes gain total, although that'll bring in the putting, for the other two courses. But I like to just take a glimpse at that. And then obviously, they'll play 2 rounds on Pebble. So, we'll take a harder look into that for the overall week. New to the course since 2016. 33 guys have not played it since 2016. Pretty decent amount there. Salary ranges: 10K, we have 4 guys. 9K, we have 8 guys. 8K, we have 10 guys. 7K, 42 guys. 6K, 87 guys to round it out. So once again, top, 7,900 and below get you almost 130 of the guys. More likely than not, that's where, where your tournament will be won this week is picking those right guys down there. They had been having quite a bit of 10K guys, but they didn't do it this week. Only 4, and then 8 and 10 in the 9 and 8K. So a little more spread out there. Sweet 16 for me, as always, my top 3 in a bubble boy. Fade of the week, sleeper of the week, some gut feel plays, betting 5, top 5 betting, top 5 of the pop and 2 long shots provided by Monkey Knife Fight. And then we'll kind of wrap it up here and be back later on for deep dive. And then tomorrow, final thoughts. 9K above for me. I'm gonna go with Cantley. I imagine he'll be one of the top, for sure, 3 owned, maybe top 2 owned by the time it's all said and done. But once again, we're not, for the talent level and how we talk about that, I think he's still priced too cheap, quote unquote, right? 11-2. You can still fit a lot around there. He's played this 4 times, made the cut all 4 times: a 48th, a 35th, 11th, and a 3rd. So he's gotten better every single time he's played it. He's coming in with some of the best form: a 4th at TOC, a 9th at Amex. Just like his overall game, not too much to talk about there. Up top, it's just going to be on, who you want to go with and potential, looking at ownership and stuff like that. But not going to overthink that one. I like him. Stroman, I know he'll probably be popular. I don't think he'll be like 20+% popular, but recent form coming in, not great, but I just think you can 9,100 too is kind of a little bit to swallow for him. But last 6 times here: 17th, 14th, 6th, 7th, 12th, or 2nd and 13th. So his worst finish in 6 years is 17th place, 3 top 7s or better. So, you got to play that. He loves this place. Not going to overthink that as well. Berger and Willie Z was real tough for me here as the last ones. I'm going to go with Berger right now. Definitely want to watch the back. And, he grimaced a lot both days, Friday and Saturday. I stayed away from him Saturday because I was like, I don't want to take a chance on a withdrawing. Finished, played all right. I mean, that's the hard thing, is he played good. Now you get a few days. Can he loosen it up, be fine? Defending champion, so I'm sure he feels obligated. But my only worry with him is you're going to have long rounds out here with the amateurs. And if that back's hurting him at all, that could be not good. Now that he's the defending champ, though, we should get a press conference from him or be able to go read it. And so we'll be able to update this by Wednesday night and see how we're feeling. If he's good to go and maybe discusses it at all, I have no issues going with him. If there's still question marks, I certainly, I don't want to put 10-5 into him and be worried about that. My bubble boy was Willie Z. Definitely well known as a fast player. He's coming in as hot as anybody in the field, 6th and 2nd. He's played it twice. He's made the cut both times, but he's not done much. A 55th and a 68th. I don't know if the slow play would get to him or not. If, for whatever reasons, because of all that and then his pricing, he's super low owned, I certainly won't mind getting there. And that's why I have him on the bubble boy. I don't know how the community will take him this week. The industry, and does he get talked up, or is it, this isn't this type of event? I don't want to pay 10.8 for him. I'd rather just pay $400. I mean, I can see several different deals drop down $300 to Burger if he looks healthy. So that's why I got him on the bubble to see where we think the ownership will go by this time tomorrow. 9K or 8K and above range. I'm going to go back to Mito. Played him last week. Loved him. Finished 25th. Flirted up there at times. Solid week for him. $8,300. I'm good with that. Never played here. That's a quote unquote negative, but I don't need him to win at this price, so I don't care about not playing here type of deal. Matt Jones sticks out to me. Not a guy I normally play. Had a great finish at the Tournament of Champions. Finished third. Back-to-back missed cuts, though. A little worrisome, but kind of like Streelman, pretty good history here. 6 years straight. 11th, 23rd, miscut, 53rd, 5th, and 34th. So at 8K, he's got, a top 5 finish, an 11th, a 23rd, only one miscut in 6 years. I like that. So he's on my short list. And then my third one's Lanto, another guy I don't go to a whole lot. Almost went to him last week, but I decided not to. He finished 30th, so, strong finish there. Coming off the third at Amex, another Pro-Am type deal. He did play here 2 years ago and got a 9th. Had a miscut in 2018, not too worried about that. In the better half of the field in POA putting as well, so I don't mind going back to him at $8,800. And then Palmer's kind of the bubble boy for me at $8,900. I don't see ownership being too big of a deal for him. Not quite the history here as last week, where he was and he played great last week. Finished 16th, kind of blew up at the end a little bit. Had a chance to get in the top 5. Played here 3 times since 2016, a 41st, and then 2 missed cuts. That's the only reason why he's on the bubble is the history here. Not very strong. He is 23rd in the field in POA putting, coming in with great form. So he's on the short list. We'll take a look at that as we get into the deep dive later on as well. 7K range. Start out with Buckley. I'll go right back to him. A guy I'm going to ride, more often than not this year. 12th at the Sony, and then back-to-back missed cuts. He's probably a bubble for like 1 to 3 max type stuff, but he's certainly going to be in the MME pools this week. Probably be very low owned. No one going back to him. Stat wise, he looks great, although limited. He just doesn't putt well, and he's got very little on POA, so he's one of the worst on that, but not a lot of data. Other stats, they're great, but again, they're not a lot of data either. 4th tee to green, 2nd par 5 DK, 21st stroke gain irons. There's some things there that I like, and for an MME type play, I definitely don't mind going to him. Next in the 7K range, Von Taylor. Really good history here. Won here, obviously. 7,000 seems a little, in this field, I think, I don't want to say, too low, but I could see it, as a good value, if nothing less. 25th in POA putting, 21st last year, 2 missed cuts before that, then a 51st, a missed cut, and then he won in 2016. So definitely up and down here, roller coaster. But he's won and he's finished 21st, so he can miss cut. He's definitely somewhere, but at 7K, you're not, we don't need him to win. He makes the cut and has some upside on Sunday. We like it. 42nd at the Sony. That's his only tournament since we turned the calendar year. I'll have him on the short list. I do like him. Alex Smalley, not leaving that train. His finishes don't look great. He missed the cut at Sony, then 25th, 56th, but he's always up there and battling. Maybe Sundays aren't as great, but another guy that's going to be his first time playing here. We don't know. But 25th at the Amex, which was another, rotational Pro-Am type deal. So, doesn't look like it hurts it. He doesn't have very good POA putting, but again, very limited. He's just a guy I like. I mean, almost more of a gut feel type deal, but $7,200, I'll play him for sure. A guy I don't play a lot of, but I do like this week. Russell Knox, $7,800. A 7th at Sony, missed the cut at Amex. Kind of that roller coaster finishes here. 2 missed cuts, but then the other 3, a 15th, a 14th, and a 7th. So seems like if he gets it going here, he's going to be up there contending on Sunday. Don't think he'll get talked up too much. Could be in that 8 to 10% type range. So I guess, the only reason potentially for a bubble boy, because I have to have someone in there, but stats aren't just popping. He's got a few that are a little glaring. He's not the best putter. But as price and his finishes here, I'll like him. If he gets too chalky, then no, he's a guy I could pass on. But as of now, I'll keep him in the short-term list. 6K range, we'll start with Austin Eckroat. Probably one of my favorite plays of the week. $6,800. Missed the cut last week, but he showed some flashes, played well. He's got limited stats, but his stats are good when you look at him overall. He's just gonna be one of those studs. He's out of Oklahoma State, watched him a lot in college. Excuse me. You get that all those guys at Oklahoma State, they tend to be play very well on tour one way or the other. I think he's going to be right there. He had some great battles against some of the Sooners and stuff in college. I just like his upside. So at $6,800, does he make a 1-3 max pull? Not sure yet, but he definitely is a great MME play this week. And he might get talked up a little bit just because he kind of pops in some of the modeling stuff. But still, he's going to be a 4 or 5% type guy. So I don't mind going there. Smotherman was a guy that I definitely liked last week some. Got into the field later, I believe. I talked him up on Showdown, several times. And the final round, I did like him a lot. Started out a little, suspect, but finished really strong Sunday. I think he started out like +2 or something. But got a little birdie streak in the middle of the round, finished strong, finished 11th when it was all said and done. Like his upside overall, right there, kind of like with Eckroat. He's got more stats, played much more tours already. Second in great approach, 11th in opportunities inside 18 feet, 17th in drive, 8th in tee to green. Really like this kid and things we're looking for here. I do like as well. Always an unknown with most of these young guys on these type of Pro-Am type stuff. Does it bother them? Can they stay focused? But we're going to get that with a lot of them. So you kind of got to take your chances there. But when I'm paying $6,800, I don't mind taking those chances because I don't need him to win. I just need him to play well, make the cut, be in the hunt for a top 30 or something come Sunday. Next up for me, a guy he's treated me well from time to time. Definitely a hit or miss type of guy, but Bronson Burgoon, $6,800 as well. All three of these guys are $6,800. I just saw that. Made the last 2 cuts. Hadn't done much with him once he made the cut, but he's been there. He can score well. He's played here 3 times, made the cut every time, a 21st, a 47th, a 47th. Pretty consistent. I like he's made the cut every time at $6,800. A guy I'm willing to take some shares on, and I do like him this week. My bubble boy will be Molinax, $6,700. He is rated out better than some of the other guys. He as well has a pretty good history. Hadn't played here since 2019, but played 3 straight years, 14th, 47th, 22nd. So made the cut all 3 years. I guess if I could talk to him, I wouldn't, maybe got tired of it. I don't know why he would have missed the 2 years, but not going to pay too much attention to it. He's a guy that you're looking at, par 5 scoring. He's 8th in the field. Opportunities inside 18 feet. He's 5th. He started okay here, a miscut, a 59th, and a miscut. So recent form, he's average, but at $6,700, I like that he's always made the cut here. Got some stat places. He's top 15 in the field, 39th tee to green. So he's 140th in the POA putting. So that's probably the biggest concern and the reason why he's the bubble boy, but I don't mind taking a look at him. Fade of the week for me right now is going to be Bezadenhout. I think he's been talked up so much. I think that continues. He's not really let people down, but he hasn't really won much for him. A 17th, a 40th, and a 46th. $8,700. Never played here. But now you're paying up for a guy where you do want a top 20 out of an $8,700 top guy. Being his first time here, and I think he'll be popular. He's a guy that I can pass on and just hope he doesn't kill me. Sleeper of the week, 5% or less type owned guy. It's probably going to be Eckroat, but another guy I do like is Nick Taylor. Took a stab on him, round 4 showdown. Didn't really pay through, but he finished strong. I think he had 3 straight birdies to end the round. So he got the birdie streak, finished 30th overall, has played here 6 years straight, a 30th, a 10th, a miscut, a 28th, a first. So he got the win 2 years ago, and a 39th. probably get talked up a little bit. He 33rd at the Amex as well, so he seems to do okay in these Pro-Am type stuff. $7,300. I could see him probably above the 5% just because of the win and stuff, but probably no more than 10%. And I just don't think many people are going to talk about him outside of that he won here. So I really like him this week. A lower owned type guy, 8 to 10% ish. Ekra, but I've already mentioned him, is my true going to be 5% or less type guy. He'll probably be right around that 5% number, and I like him a lot. Gut feel plays of the week for me. Aaron Rye, I really like what I saw from him. Didn't realize the whole two glove situation was an always thing for him. I loved hearing that story. I know I saw the Twitter peoples who are quote unquote really good at golf being triggered on the iron covered deal. It's just unique just to hear his story and what he's got. I like that, final group start off shaky, but then battle back and finish strong. Got a 6th finish, 59th before that, the Amex. So at least got some Pro-Am experience there. Obviously done really well on Euro. Some of the better Euro guys have been high on him for a while, so I've always kept my eye on him. I like him this week. I'll go back to him at $7,900. Didn't get too much of a price jump after that 6th place finish. Thigali, another guy, rode him a lot, played him a lot last year when he played. Really starting out on fire this year. A 48th, a 33rd, and a 25th. 30th in the POA splits, albeit, limited data, but still, I like everything about it. And he's one didn't get a bump that much. I think he was 6,900 last week, only up to 7,200. I'll go back to him. Definitely don't mind him. Chris Kirk, this seems like a good course fit for him. Let's see what he's done here real quick. So he's played 4 times in the last 5 years, a 39th, a miscut, and a 16th. So 2 good years, 2 bad years. 27th at the Sony, missed the cut at Amex. Excuse me. $7,700. So, I like him in general. Like his story. Played him a lot last year and during his run. 35th in POA putting, 21st in recent form on the field. Enough there at that price that, he's, again, gut feel play. I like him. Probably be in the pool for sure. And then Neesmith, a guy I don't play a whole ton of. 2 great finishes here, an 11th and a 16th. I really like that. A 34th last week. Stats are hit or miss, but again, not all in on all the stats this week. They matter to an extent, but putting the whole package together at $7,300. I like him in the betting odds as well. I think he's 125. He'll probably be on the short list there. Again, $7,300. 2 top 16s here. I mean, that's enough for me to give, especially at least MME flyers. Could flirt with putting them in some 1 and 3 max as well. Betting top 5 the pop and 2 long shots, provided by Monkey Knife Fight. Link is in the description. Dollar for dollar match up to $100 right now. I'll have my Monkey Knife Fight plays out on tomorrow's Final Thoughts pod. Go get signed up there with GUPS, GUPS, dollar for dollar match up to $100, and I'll have my plays out tomorrow. My top 5 that popped for me: Mito 40-1, Smalley 80-1, Matt Jones 50-1, Chris Kirk 66-1, Willie Z 20-1. 2 long shots: Ekrot 150 and Buckley 150. I'll have deep dive out a little bit later today, and then tomorrow I'll have my one and done on the Final Thoughts. I'll give you my top 5 like I do every week. And then we may do an E9. I'll see what Kenny's schedule is looking like tomorrow. Also, depending on how bad the weather gets here and all that. But definitely we'll have deep dive out a little bit later today on that pod, and then back for Final Thoughts tomorrow. Hope you guys have a blessed Tuesday, and we will see you later. Thanks.